Level 1. Ashigaru, the foot soldier. The blade they hand you isn't yours. It belongs to the clan. Everything belongs to the clan. You learn this on the first morning, standing barefoot in a courtyard while a man you've never met tells you what your life is worth. Not much. Not yet. You are Ashigaru, foot soldier, the bottom of a hierarchy so old it has its own gravity. You carry a spear that's heavier than it looks. You march behind men on horses who don't know your name. You eat last. You sleep on dirt when the higher ranks take the shelter. But you're here. That matters. You watch everything, the way a senior soldier adjusts his grip before a drill, the way the officers speak to each other, never loud, never rushed. You start to understand that composure is a currency here. Panic is poverty. Your first skirmish is nothing like you imagined. It's loud and close and smells like iron and sweat. You keep your spear level. You don't run. Afterward, your hands shake for 2 hours and you tell no one. You tell yourself that's normal. You tell yourself it gets easier. You're half right. Level 2. Samurai candidate, the tested. 3 years in, someone notices you. Not with praise, with a test. You're assigned to guard a merchant route alone for 6 nights. No explanation, no backup. On the 4th night, 3 men try to take the cart. You stop 2 of them, the 3rd escapes. You expect punishment. Instead, a senior samurai nods at you across a courtyard the following week. That nod is worth more than a year's pay. You're being evaluated. You realize this retroactively. Every difficult task, every quiet order, every seemingly pointless assignment was a filter. The ones who complained are gone. The ones who asked why are gone. You stayed. You adapted. They give you a proper blade now, not ornamental, functional, yours to maintain, yours to answer for. The weight of it changes how you carry yourself. You stand differently. You notice other people noticing. You start to believe in the system. That belief is the most dangerous thing that's happened to you so far. Level 3. Samurai, the named. Your name is spoken differently. Junior soldiers step aside when you approach. You feel it before you see it, the slight adjustment in posture, the averted eyes. You are no longer the one making way. You serve a direct lord, a man who controls 3 districts and speaks in half sentences because he assumes you'll understand the rest. You learn to understand the rest. You learn to anticipate. You learn that serving well is its own form of intelligence. You kill a man for the first time with full authorization and clear conscience. Later, you sit with that. You look for guilt. You find something closer to stillness. You rationalize, this is what the blade is for. This is what you were trained for. The man was an enemy of the clan. The clan is order. Order is protection. Protection is life. You believe every word of it. Level 4. Kenine, the trusted retainer.
Your lord calls you by name without looking up from his maps. That's how you know you've crossed something. You're not just useful now, you're relied upon. He sends you to negotiate on his behalf. You speak for him in rooms he doesn't enter. You carry his intention like a second skin. You manage 6 men beneath you. You start to understand what it costs to be responsible for other people's decisions. When one of your men makes an error, you absorb the consequence. You discipline him privately, defend him publicly. You don't explain this logic to him. He wouldn't understand yet. You handle a situation involving a corrupt tax collector, a situation your lord never formally acknowledged, never put in writing. The collector disappears. The records correct themselves. 3 villages have food through winter. You don't lose sleep over this. That's the part that would have surprised the version of you who first held a spear. Level 5, Doshin, the Enforcer. You are the system now. You maintain order across an entire district. You know which merchants pay late, which families harbor grievances, which men talk too much after drinking. You don't surveil them consciously. The information just comes to you because you've built a network without calling it that. You earn 200 koku of rice per year. It's enough that you stop thinking about money. When you stop thinking about money, you start thinking about something else: permanence, reputation, legacy. Junior samurai watch you the way you once watched yours. You see yourself in them, the hunger, the discipline, the careful observation. You remember what that felt like. You don't go back to it. You've made 2 decisions this year that you will never discuss, not with anyone, not even in reflection. They were necessary. You knew it before you made them. You still know it. The stillness you feel about that has stopped feeling like a warning. Level 6, Hatamoto, the Lord's Shadow. You sit in councils now, not to speak first, to speak last, and rarely. But when you speak, the room recalibrates. You've learned that real authority is mostly silence. Real authority is the ability to end something without raising your voice. You oversee military strategy across 4 provinces. You command 400 men who command thousands more. The math of your influence is something you've stopped calculating because the number is too abstract to mean anything. Your old friendships have quietly dissolved, not through conflict, through distance, through the fact that you no longer have time for conversations that don't have stakes. You don't mourn this, you notice it the way you notice weather. A man you once called a friend challenges your lord's authority publicly. You are the one who responds, not with a blade, with procedure, leverage, precedent, and patience. 3 weeks later, he is reassigned to a distant outpost at the edge of the Northern Territory. He will not challenge anything again. You drink tea alone that evening and feel nothing you can name. Level 7, Daimyo's Advisor, the Architect. The daimyo asks for your counsel before his generals. You are not a general. You have never claimed to be. Your power is structural, invisible, load-bearing, essential. You shape the decisions that shape the battles that shape the era. You are 41 years old. You sleep 4 hours a night, not from stress, from discipline. You have optimized yourself into something that functions at a level most men can't sustain. Other lords have tried to recruit you 3 times in the past 2 years. Each time, you've delivered the information to your daimyo before they even realized you'd refused. That's not loyalty from obligation. That's loyalty from architecture. You built too much here to let someone else inherit it. Your wife knows less about your life than your subordinates do. You have accepted this. She has accepted this.
There is love there, compressed into a form that fits between responsibilities. You haven't held your blade in 6 months. You don't need to anymore. Level 8, Kuru, the ghost at the top. There is no ceremony for this. One morning you simply understand that you are the last check on the daimyo's power, that the men who could once balance you are gone, dead, reassigned, diminished, that the system you've spent your life climbing now runs partially through you. You are not the daimyo. You will never be the daimyo. But that distinction has become mostly theoretical. You sit in rooms that no one enters without your permission. You make decisions that will not be traced back to you for 20 years, if ever. You think in decades now. Seasons have stopped feeling like time and started feeling like increments. You remember standing in a courtyard barefoot, holding someone else's spear. You remember the shake in your hands after the first fight. You remember the nod. You remember what you thought mattered, what you thought power would feel like when you arrived at it. It doesn't feel like anything. Not because you've lost something, because you've become the kind of structure that doesn't feel its own weight. Mountains don't feel heavy, they just hold the sky. Somewhere at the edge of the territory, a young man is assigned to a garrison. He's never held a spear before today. He watches the senior soldiers the way you once watched yours. He thinks if he pays close enough attention, he'll understand what this life costs before it takes the payment. He won't. But he'll learn. They all learn.